Hey there everybody, Robert Taylor with Wonderscape Creations, doing another video for the Narrative Pro tutorial series. And in this one we're going to be going over a few things in one video because there's very little to one of them, and the other is the save system. And the save system has a few things to be aware of. Um, so first, obviously the game state. We've seen this once before when we were talking about the factions. This is where you'll predominantly do anything involving the factions as far as setting stuff up. Time of day stuff shows up right here, but you've messed with that stuff in the project settings itself. But you see that there's a specialized event of on faction attitude changed. So there's a lot you can do. On end play is a common one that you don't really have to worry about all that much. I honestly thought it said on end of day. Um, I misread it. And let's see, anything else here? The save GUID is important to note. If we come over here, there's an interface called get actor GUID. If we go into the class settings, it inherits narrative savable actor. Any actor that you want saved needs to have this here. You need to create a variable of type GUID. Once it's there, it'll be empty, so you'll need to click on it and hit generate. And then you need to open up this, the get actor GUID, and plug it in. Now the reason I didn't have this one set up, I'm going to delete that so it goes back, is because it's already set up in the narrative version of it. So there's no reason for me to do it again. At least from what I understand. I could be very wrong. Something we'll learn along the way. If I wind up having to do it, I wind up having to do it. No big deal. The other thing you need to be aware of is there is an additional interface if you want to save a specific component, but you don't care about saving the actor. So if you go over here to the implemented interfaces and you add narrative savable component, you can save the component specifically. At which point you would just plug that in and it would save it. Now, you may be wondering why I have the game state open and the game instance. The game state and the game instance stay open for the entirety of the game, whereas the player state, the player controller, the player avatar itself, and several other things, even when you go from level to level, despite the fact that they are in both levels, they reset themselves back to how they were originally. Now you save that information so that when you go into a new level, it'll load in the stuff that was in the old level. And you do that by housing this kind of information in the game state or the game instance. And in this case, this is what you'll see if you open up the game instance that we made in the very first video. But when you open it up, again, you won't see anything. But if you go to the narrative game instance, you see here they have delete save, save game without world, get metadata for save, update save metadata, get or create save metadata, get first empty save slot, remove save metadata. So they've set up all of the save information here within the narrative game instance. Now, you can reference the game instance if you want in order to do the save game. There is an additional option though. They have also created a save function that communicates with the game instance that does the save as well. So if I come over here to my example that I've made, there's save game right here. And if I open it up, it's going to open up the controller, narrative player controller, and here's the save game functionality. It's notifying if it fails. It's doing all the save information that it needs to do, and then you're good to go. And here in my example, I have this set because somebody was asking about auto saving. Now, Auto-saving is good for when you don't want somebody, because we're all going to have games that might have some randomization to it. And that could be crafting and even looting. And in this example, we're going with looting. You'll see it in a lot of the games these days when once you've looted something and you've closed the window, it saves the project. I mean, it saves the game. And that's essentially what I've done here. Let's see. Let's go to the design. I'm sure you've recognized this. When you're looting, this is what we see currently. And if I go to it, open it here. See where it took me. Narrative inventory. Sorry, I have to do it manually here. UI, I believe. Yes, and then there's a looting right here. So you'll find it in the Narrative Pro content, narrative inventory, narrative UI, looting, and here it is. If you open this up and you come in here to graph, and at the end of on-clicked button exit, I have the autosave started. So because it's a widget, if you do it this way, it works in multiplayer because widgets only work for the person utilizing it. We can't see other people's widgets versus we can see other people, not visually see it, but we can see other people's controllers and their player states and things like that. So if we get the owning player pawn and then from there get its controller and cast to our controller, at the bare minimum, it needs to be the narrative player controller. And you pull out of it and do save game, and then right click and search for narrative save subsystem. Pull out of that and get current save name, and then it'll save it. And I've created a show narrative HUD notification. Again, you can search for that. And I've made it say game saved. Now, we're going to go ahead and have some fun here. And I need to make sure my save is not still there so that I can show you that it works. Let's see, what am I looking for? Show and Explorer. Now, I'm doing that just so I can get back over here to the, it's called narrative learning. Now, if we go into save games, here's my current saves. I'm going to delete those. So my project name, go into saved and delete the saved games. And we're going to go here. I've gone ahead and, oh, no, that's not where, there we are. I have put a table in here. If I go to the narrative inventory, you'll see that I have the table to roll for weapons. And there's every weapon is in there, and we'll randomly pick. And I'll show you what I mean. I play. Give it a moment because I forgot. I went to bed before I did this, and now I'm doing it now. So it's got to load everything in for the first time. All right, now that it's all loaded in, if I open this up, you'll see we've got a sword. Now let's go ahead and I'll hit escape real quick, just so you can see it in action again. Of course, it could just randomly decide to be a sword again, but we'll find out. Oh, it's not. There we go. We've got a gun, and so now we've got 2 guns, and we've got 2 piles of ammo. So now, if I go ahead and go into the pause menu, for you guys, hit shift, then escape. Obviously, in a built game, it will work. It'll just go straight to escaped. Anyways, we'll hit save. We'll save right there. Resume the game. So now we have load where we can load it right here. And let me resume right there. You'll see still that it is not there. And if I hit escape, we'll hit play. you'll see that it's not there. And now something that I should have done first and I didn't. I wasn't thinking. Let me do it this way instead. Let's delete these again. Go. We're going to come in here. Now we'll save first so that we have a slot. It's important that there is a save slot because this is looking for the current save name. If you're wanting it to autosave as soon as you hit play, then you need to set that up. That is not currently set up that way, but it's very easy to do. As you can see, everything is there that you need. But as far as autosaving goes, I believe I did. Yep. Hit resume. Hit E. There's my sword. I'll take it. You see the game saved on the bottom right corner. Now if I close it, hit play, because I didn't save after taking the sword. I didn't save myself. The system itself saved, and you can see I all the way back up here. Sword's not here. I've got 2 swords in my inventory. So the autosave function itself is now working. And it's honestly just doing this. Now, I do have this right here, this button. It takes us to another level. I discovered a bug. It's been reported, and they are looking into a fix. Because I wanted to be able to save, go into a different level, and all of my stuff comes in there with me. And we discovered that when I go to that new level, the stuff doesn't come with me. But once I teleport back to this level, then the stuff that I looted is back in my inventory. So they're aware of the problem, and they are working on a fix. So that's everything we have for the save system. Very simple, very easy. By far one of the best save systems I've ever messed with. And that's the end of this section of the whole process. We will be going into the general stuff of the NPCs, not combat. We'll be going into the NPC stuff next. So I will see you in the next episode.